Alrighty. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Today, I tell you not but a song, but a tale.
A lot of my friends have dyslexia, so I'm like, shut up! Yes.
This be a tale from a long ago story known as Warhammer 40,000, 40K.
Yes! You have a cultured life! I fucking respect you!
Now,
Sorry.
huh? No, I'm good, thank you though. So, the story I bring to you today is the story of a man known as Uriel Ventress. He was a great man. He was an ultramarine. He was a servant of the God Emperor. And he was a loyal man to his Imperium. And he suffered, unlike any other ultramarine in his company. It started with the ultramarine being conquered on a demon engine. The very caverns of this demon engine were unknown to any type of mathematical formula or portrayal of mankind. Its very swaths of scale could not be comprehended by the mortal mind. And yet Uriel Ventress stood there, unfazed. He saw the gargantuan hellscape walls covered with flesh and blade and blood and fire alike. And yet he was unfazed, for he knew his path was not finished. The Omphalos Simonium, a great demon engine of the greater demon engines, stood there with its billhook in hand, torturing him, unlike any other man before him. And yet he stood there, because he knew his time was not ready. The Omphalos Simonium tortured him for many days, many weeks, but he did not waver, he did not quiver, for he was an ultramarine. And upon countless, almost eons, untold times that he spent tortured, at one given moment, the greater demon engine's walls start to flex like some concave other dimension, flexing like a great pond, a ripple of water, a stone in the pool. And in that moment, he had a reflection of the possible life he could have lived. Instead of servitude to the God Emperor on an endless crusade of war, he could have been a man who served as nothing more than an agricultural worker on a farm world, but he could have led a humble life. He could have led a simple life. He could have been content. But he chose this path, and he committed to it. And as the flexing walls of the demon engine came back into focus, and he felt the churning of his stomach back in the world as he knew that the warp transition was over, he knew that his path was ready. And as the demon engine's great barrier walls opened to the hellscape upon him, he realized it was not fire and embers, but a cold, stale, gray plane of existence known only as Medrengard. As he stared upon the endless gray hellscape of Medrengard, all he saw was gargantuan iron facilities of rot, belching steam, smoke, blood, flesh, gore, and every other conceivable possibility within this realm. And he knew that it was his sole purpose to lay waste to those gargantuan facilities and the unholy creations they housed within them. And so he set forth on his crusade. Also, time limit. How much do you care? Okay. As Uriel Ventress set forth into these gargantuan hell facilities, he found ungodly creations. Ungodly, hellscapish, fleshy, mortal wombs conceived not of original mortal women beings, but something new. They housed ungodly creations, forming new flesh for these unholy heretic creations that fought against the God Emperor himself. And he wept. He wept at the very sight of these unholy abominations. For he knew that it was not unlike anything he had seen or anything that should be and yet he saw it with his own mortal eyes. And because of that, he set a pact in his soul that he would burn everything. And so he set forth through these gargantuan facilities to purge and to wreak havoc upon these heretics who have brought such heresy to the light of the emperor. And as he burned with his fellow Astartes to cut through this awful, unholy, absolute, gargantuan, disgusting facility, he saw the single most obliterating thing his heart could have seen. He saw a group of fleshless beings, known as the unfledged, creatures without skin, yet still mortal minds. And they had erected a statue, a crude, metallic statue, not of mortal origin, but still in the likeness of the god emperor. And he wept, seeing how in the most dark moment of this creature's existence, they still exemplified but a moment of mortal purity to recognize the hope that they had in the god emperor. And he wept. And from that moment, he accepted the creed of the unfleshed as his own. And he recognized that they may not know, fully understanding the plight of the emperor, they gave their hearts to him. And because of that, he fought forward.